Hey, what's going on, guys? GoMegaKinsey here. I'd like to share the very first successful results on trying to connect my JavaScript chess engine via the UCI protocol to the Arena GUI, to this one. So, for those of you who's not aware, what am I talking about and what is this project all about? So, I'm writing a chess engine in JavaScript, and it's intended to be running in two modes: in the browser mode, so you could just play. Well, unfortunately now it's not yet playing, so there is no a chess engine at the moment. It's just bug-free move generator, nothing much here. And also the move validation, some sort of a pretty user interface. But before actually creating an engine, because this engine would be reused by both the browser GUI, and also it's intended to be interacting via the UCI protocol to make it possible to play it versus other engines in GUIs like Arena. I decided to debug the interaction itself via std and std out, basically. And it took me quite a bit of time to find the proper solution in nodejs, because in nodejs it seems to be done completely in a different way. I mean, like interacting with the standard input and output. I'm not yet sure that the code that I'm using here, so here I'm just using this process std in on data, and this gives me kind of an infinite loop, which I used to actually do by hands in C programming language. So I have no idea how this is done in a proper way in JavaScript, but anyway, I just trying to make a proof of concept implementation here. So just to prove the concept that my JavaScript code is actually capable of interacting via standard input and output with the GUI. And in this video, I just want to demonstrate you this. So by default, it supports only kind of 3 commands, basically. This UCI new game is just a placeholder for tests at the moment. And also, just to prove the concept that it can kind of move the piece in the GUI, that's here I'm just parsing this go depth 1 and hard coding the move to output to see the result in the GUI. So let's have a look. Before we start looking at that, just want to give you an idea one more time. So we have this nodejs mode that I've been mentioning before, and we have the browser mode. So the document is available. Then we go into the browser mode. Otherwise, we're going here to the UCI mode. So literally, this is the nodejs mode here. So I'm running this. But before we start, just another few examples. So here in the current working directory, I've created this WukongJS.shell file. Regarding Windows, I'll cover it a little bit later on. So first, I'm in Linux, so let me just cover the Linux implementation. So here's a very simple bash script that actually changes the directory to find the proper path to the executable here, and also it runs the command like nodejs WukongJS. Well, it is so in order to make it work, we need to make sure the nodejs is actually available, is installed in the operating system. Well, it's quite pretty trivial to do in whatever operating system, so I hope that's not gonna be a pain. Anyway, when it comes to Windows, there should be not shell but batch file, I believe. Not sure how they call it exactly, and there should be some sort of a same stuff to consider, just to adjust the current working directory and also just literally execute nodejs and the engine and the engine source code, and that's kind of sort of it. So this shell is something that I'm using within. So here I just go into the engines part, and so here I've created a new engine. So this is it. And here the engine executable, I'm literally using this WukongJS.shell, which operates with the operating system. So this is kind of like a native operating system executable. But let's say it's not really that true, but just let's consider it to be that, like that. So, and this actually allows me to interact with the chess engine via standard input and output from the GUI, believe it or not. So another thing to consider, so probably yes, I just want to, well, let's make it always on top, and I want to open the log window to yeah, to see how the engine output works here as well. Okay, so the first thing I just want to, I don't know, let's just try to run somewhat a different engine to make sure that this console is alive. Okay, and now just get rid of this, and now I'm going to my Wukong. Okay, now so this is from the previous engine. I'm sorry, it's not from my engine yet. So here, if I just apply, okay, no, not like this, apply. Okay, here we go, perfect. So this is already the output from my engine. Well, just to prove that concept as well. So yeah, we just have this, it parses the name, the ID, is ready, okay, all the standard UCI commands. So just to give you an idea how this looks like from the command line perspective, I don't know, probably, hold on a sec, I'm just wondering. Yeah, so it's all this always on top. It's not really that great stuff, but if I just, let's say I open the terminal, and well, I can just force run this WukongJS.shell. So if I just simply say WukongJS.shell, so here is a command line interface. Well, quite a fun thing that console log. I'm not sure whether it writes to, well, obviously it writes to standard output, but I didn't really expect this output to be seen within the debugging window in the Arena. So the proper way of doing things is actually to kind of write bytes. This is how it's done. So process std out write, at least what I found regarding the documentation of Node.js. But this stuff that is logged by the console log function also seems to appear right over in here. So it's also a good news basically. So we can see this nice little debugging stuff. Well, anyway, I'm just, yeah, I just thought how on earth am I supposed to be doing all this stuff from the, oh, okay, just forget that. Okay, so let's get back to our proof of concept. And yeah, within this console, what we can do, we can pass the commands. So you see, like, I'm doing just what the GUI just did. So this UCI command, it gives this author a name, and if I just send is ready, it just sends ready okay. So if I say just UCI new game, just a placeholder, nothing much there, it just responses. And if I just say, let's say go depth 1, it just outputs the hard-coded mode. So just to give you an idea that it kind of works as the command line interface utility here, right? So now we can do exactly the same, but from the GUI. So we just switch to commands. We can say again like this UCI and send, and so it just sends while the std is standard input from the WukongJS engine reads this command, processing it, and outputs the stuff. Say again like is ready. So I'm just doing manually what was just done by the GUI automatically, just as a proof of concept, obviously. And let's say UCI new game. So all the same stuff. And now the most interesting part here. So I just close this window, and yeah. And by the way, yeah, it seems to be from the previous output. Okay, I hope the engine is still kind of live here. So I'm going to levels. Well, I could have just typed go depth and all this stuff, but I just want to show you this from the GUI perspective. It looks kind of more cool. Let's just put this window somewhere. So levels adjust fixed surge depth 1/2 move. Okay, and this sentence actually forces the UCI command go depth 1. So as soon as I click on this button, it should start calculating, kind of like calculating the best move for a given position. Obviously, there is no engine yet, but that's just not a problem at the moment. So, okay, and okay, so sends the command go depth 1 and outputs the best move, and the move is made on board, and we are done basically. So we've just proved the concept that this JavaScript chess engine actually is capable of interacting with the UCI protocol with the GUI like Arena, so the same should be working with the CHESS GUI and whatever else. Okay guys, so this is it from my side. I don't know how about you, but me personally, I really feel excited about this, because in Python, well, I used to work in Python. In Python, it's quite pretty trivial to do, but in Node.js, it's a little bit was a little bit confusing to me. So another little, I don't know if I should call this concern or something, is that when I was implementing an engine in C in the UCI interaction, in order to break the engine from the execution, I was using, I was reading the keyboard input. That's how it was done. I'm not sure how this is done in Node.js. Maybe I should have changed this implementation to someone else. Just I'm not one of those smart guys who's creating like threads to interact between like engine thread, like input thread, and all this stuff. So I'm just trying to make it somewhat a very simple solution here. So I'm not yet really sure how in particular technically I would be breaking the engine. Let's say it's searching, and I just want instantly to break it and just do that engine like stop calculating. So how technically that would be done, I'm not I don't know at the moment. So that is another thing to make a research on, but I think that should be I should find some sort of a proper solution. Okay guys, so this is it from my side. Keep track the development progress of WukongJS engine, and see you next time. Take care.